Deep breaths, everybody, because it's going to be okay. I promise you, it'll be okay. So while everybody is like losing their freaking minds around this, what people think is like this debacle GPT-5 launch, in the big picture, let's just realize it's not really that big of a deal. Yes, for a long time, the press, the AI communities, the everybody has been making a big deal about the launch of GPT-5. And so it was lackluster when it launched last week, right? So here's what I want to share with you today and why I think that this may help you kind of bridge the gap between letting GPT-5 kind of catch up to the rest of the world and where we were before GPT-5. So I'm going to cover how to quickly make your custom GPTs work a little bit better if you feel like GPT-5 isn't doing the job for you. And this can go for the custom GPTs, it can work in your projects, et cetera, et cetera. And by the way, if you don't know me, hi, I'm Wendy. I'm an AI and custom GPT business strategist for seasoned online coaches, course creators, and service providers who want to build, launch, and monetize custom GPTs to make more money and scale without all the work. Here's what I think is happening. Now, obviously, I don't work for OpenAI, but if we look back at some of the other at what has happened during the other launches. And what I'm noticing is that when these new models roll out, sometimes they roll out with a little bit of amnesia, right? And so they need a minute to catch up with our expectations of them. And that's just kind of the reality of how these work. Now, where I think people are, potentially right and being concerned is like the coding aspect of it, but I don't think it's that big of a deal with custom GPTs. And I think what we're also going to notice, and hear me out on this, because this is the important part, friends, that within the next couple of weeks, they're going to kind of relearn that amnesia feeling that your GPTs have, your whole entire ChatGPT account has, that amnesia that you're seeing it have is going to start to, wear off, and they're going to remember again, right? I noticed this a lot with 4.1. where it was like 4.0 was amazing, and then 4.1 was kind of like meh, and 0.3 was, thinking a lot but very dry. And then we got GPT-5, and then everybody like lost their marbles. Okay, here's what you can do very, very easily to fix it. So inside of your ChatGPT account, just go down to the bottom left corner where your name is and click on your name and then click on settings. You're going to end up on the general tab. Just toggle on show legacy models. And this is going to bring back GPT 4.0 for you. And once that happens, you can see here, I'm in a regular chat and I can drop down and I can see the new GPT-5, that flagship model, the thinking model, but I also now have this tab called 4.0 and I can switch it to GPT 4.0. And you can also do this as long as you toggle it on when you're in a custom GPT. So for instance, if I go into OfferBuzz over here and it automatically comes up as GPT-5, I can, as long as I have a paid account and I'm the end user, I can switch it to 4.0. Okay, so all is not lost, friends. Now, here's what I personally like to do. If I was going to use a GPT like OfferBuzz and I was in it, I would first, follow whatever the instructions are with the custom GPT and run it as GPT-5, okay? Then I would go up here and change the model to 4.0 and I would say start over. And then that way you can have a really good comparison in one chat of what GPT-5 is giving you versus what GPT-4 is giving you. And one more thing that I want to share with you is I have been saying, hey, that sounded too dry and AI-ish. Can you write that in my voice? I've been reminding it to use my voice. So no matter where I'm at, if I want it to use my voice, this is a really good time to have like a document, especially if you're using a GPT that isn't trained on your voice. Because again, it's not accessing the memory of your ChatGPT account, right? It's really just focused on what the GPT is giving it. So have that document that you can say, hey, remember, you're supposed to write it in my voice. Here's the document. here's my voice document. Make sure that you use my Create Your Signature Writing Style GPT. If you're in my AI for Income Accelerator program, make sure that you've used my Brand Voice Architect GPT so that you can train a conversation and just remind the GPT where you're at and who you are. But I've done this several times and it'll say, oh yeah, I'm supposed to write in Wendy's voice. So I just wanted to show you this so you don't worry too much. Now, there's one caveat that I've heard about, and that is someone told me that you can't switch to legacy modes if you have a team account. I don't know, I don't have a team account. And also, I don't think you can switch if you are on a free account. Okay, I hope you're having a great day. Let me know if you have any questions.